The year was 1654. In a quiet American settlement where wooden houses stood against endless fields and tall trees whispered with the wind. Life was slow, ruled by seasons, faith, and hard work. In this small colony lived a young husband and wife, Samuel and Eliza Whitmore. Newly married, hopeful, and deeply devoted to one another, they believed their home would soon echo with the laughter of children. But as years passed, the cradle remained empty. Their prayers were many, their patience tested, yet fate remained silent. Still, they clung to one another, learning to fill the quiet with shared labor, soft words, and faith. The absence of a child slowly carved a hollow space in their hearts. Eliza would sit by the window at dusk, watching other children play near the fields, her hands folded tightly in her lap. Samuel worked longer hours, hoping exhaustion might dull the ache he could not name. They spoke little of it, not out of bitterness, but fear that words would make the sorrow heavier. Yet their love endured, steady but wounded, like a fire burning low but refusing to die. One autumn morning, while returning from the market road, Samuel heard a faint whimper near the edge of the woods. There, nestled among fallen leaves, was a small puppy trembling, muddy, and alone. Its eyes were wide with innocence, its tail weakly wagging despite hunger and fear. Samuel carried the pup home, unsure why his heart felt lighter with every step. When Eliza saw the tiny creature, her face softened in a way Samuel had not seen for years. She knelt, held the puppy gently, and for the first time in a long while, smiled without pain. They named him Cooper. From that day, the house felt different. Cooper followed them everywhere, his paws tapping against wooden floors, his presence filling the silence with warmth. Eliza spoke to him as she cooked. Samuel laughed as Cooper stumbled through the fields chasing birds. At night, the puppy slept near the hearth, rising with the sun as if guarding their fragile happiness. Though he was not a child, he became something close, someone to love, to protect, to care for without fear of loss. Or so they believed. Years passed gently. Cooper grew strong and loyal, his fur thick, his eyes wise. He aged alongside Samuel and Eliza as the couple moved from youth into middle age. Cooper watched over them as they worked the land, waited by the door when they returned, and lay quietly beside them during winter nights. He became the keeper of their shared memories, present in every laugh and every tear. In his steady presence, the pain of childlessness softened, replaced by gratitude for the family they had found in unexpected form. Time, however, does not spare even the most loyal hearts. One harsh winter evening, as snow fell heavily and wind howled through the trees, Cooper failed to return home. Samuel searched the fields, calling his name until his voice broke. By morning, they found him near the frozen creek, his body still, his loyalty having led him too far into danger. Eliza wept silently, holding Cooper as if warmth alone could bring him back. Samuel stood beside her, hollow and helpless. The house, once full, fell silent again, but this time the silence carried grief. Days turned into weeks, and grief settled deep into their bones. Cooper's bowl remained untouched. His resting place by the hearth felt unbearably empty. Samuel and Eliza aged quickly in those months, their steps slower, their voices quieter. Yet love had taught them endurance. To honor Cooper's memory, they decided to welcome another dog one from the same lineage, similar in shape and color. They hoped not to replace Cooper, but to keep his spirit alive within their home. The new dog, named Benjamin, was young, energetic, and entirely different. Where Cooper had been calm, Benjamin was restless. He chewed furniture, barked endlessly, dug through the fields, and tested the patience of two aging souls. Eliza often sighed, exhausted, while Samuel wondered if they had made a mistake. At times, frustration outweighed affection. But beneath the chaos, they saw something familiar in Benjamin's eyes, a longing to belong. With time, patience, and quiet devotion, Samuel and Eliza chose love again. They trained Benjamin gently, spoke to him kindly, forgave his mistakes. Seasons passed, and Benjamin began to change. His energy softened into loyalty. His restlessness became protectiveness. He learned their rhythms, waited for them at the door, and slept near the hearth, just as Cooper once had. The old house filled once more with warmth, not the same, but equally real. In their final years, Samuel and Eliza sat side by side on the porch, Benjamin at their feet, watching sunsets paint the sky. They had known loss, disappointment, and grief, but also deep love in unexpected forms. Their life had not followed the path they once imagined, yet it had been rich in meaning. As the wind passed through the fields and the dog rested peacefully beside them, they understood something profound. Family is not always born, it is sometimes found, nurtured, and chosen again and again. And in that quiet understanding, they were finally at peace.